I'm Pam Hiller, AccuQuilts cutting expert.
And I'm Erica Bodker, corporate marketing specialist.
We're here to help your heart go all aflutter as we introduce you to the newest applique die to the AccuQuilt collection. The Go Bird and Birdhouse die is perfect for nature-themed quilts or to embellish outdoor projects. It's also a great way to bust up your scraps.
That's right. This applique die has all the shapes to create whimsical birds and all the pieces to build fun birdhouses. The die is on a 6x12 die board, so it'll fit through all of our Go cutters, including the Go Me, and of course the Studio with the appropriate adapter. Now make sure you have a 6x12 cutting mat to go with it.
That's right. Now let's talk about the shapes on the die. First we have the bird in the wing, and
so
here's
cute.
the birdhouse in the roof.
Okay.
And here is the bottom of the birdhouse and a little stand for our
little
bird.
perch?
Yes, and it will even cut the eye, but in my projects I've chosen to just use a little bit of thread to make French knots.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
So again, this is an applique die, all the shapes you need to make our birdhouse project on one die. To help you get started with this die, we're going to show you how to make this super cute table topper called Go Chirp Corner. It's a free pattern at AccuQuilt.com. Be sure and download the pattern and read all the instructions before you begin your project.
That's right. Now this is a great beginner sewist project since the only sewing involved is really the outer border.
Right.
The quilt background is just a single piece of fabric. So let's get to the fun part. So we've already fused some fabric.
We have.
And now we're ready to cut out our bird and birdhouses. Now for this project, we need a total of 12 birds and 4 birdhouses, and we've already cut some of our shapes. So let's go ahead and finish cutting.
Great. Now, so Erica, when I was doing the fabric, we made birdhouses that were the opposite color, which I thought was super fun.
It is.
But a great way to use up all my scraps.
Absolutely.
I truly just went to my scrap bin and thought, oh, here's some pieces we could use.
When we were talking about doing the black and the grays, you're like, oh, I've got scraps.
Yes, I can do that.
I knew I could count on you.
So I've already pre-fused my fabric, that's key.
Yes.
And we can always cut 4 layers of pre-fused fabric. So again, I'm just going to cover my shapes over here so that I make sure I get all of the little pieces covered. And see, look how totally I used scraps.
You did. You just totally used those scraps. The little window, there we go.
There we go. And then to finish our project, we're going to make an orange and a green bird.
Okay.
So I pre-fused my fabric there, and I'm just going to lay it right here like this.
Okay.
Because what I want to do then is I wanted my wings to be different colors.
Okay, perfect.
Okay? So I'm going to put my
That's
wings
so
there.
sweet.
And then my bird's hair, because we can always use 4 layers of pre-fused.
That's right.
All right, so all of my shapes are on here. Make sure you have a 6x12 cutting mat.
Yes.
All right, so here we go. Now we're going to use our Go Big today, but this will fit through all of our cutters, including our Go
That's right. That's right, it will. So you could cut all of your birdhouses in one pass.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That is a quick project.
All right, give it some love. There we go. Now look at all the static here.
All the static.
So we're going to pull the shapes off. Make sure you don't lose any wings.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
That was the thing. I was looking for wings. Now these are, in this project, they're directional, so I had all my fabric facing up. But if you want your birds going different directions, you would fan fold
face it down. Very good. That's a great tip.
Yep. All right. There's our little piece here.
This is so fast and accurate. You know, it would never be this accurate without cutting it with an AccuQuilt die.
Oh, that's right. All right. Now, once your pieces are cut, you want to build your birdhouses and then iron them onto your background.
Okay.
And you have 2 options to do that. You could build them on a iron sheet, you know, and build them. I'm just going to use it here on our background fabric. Okay. Now, here's one of the things that I made sure that I did. I marked a line here with one of our markers.
Oh, one of the water-soluble markers?
Yes, so that I knew where the center was.
That is a great pro tip.
Right, and then it will fade. Also, the pattern tells you it will cut those tiny little eyes. I'm just going to use French knots.
Okay.
All right. So I did a little bit of math, and I discovered that if I had the bottom of my birdhouse 4 inches from the edge,
yes,
that works the best.
Oh, well, aren't you?
Well,
just doing math and
did
all
a little
the
bit
things,
of things, yeah. So I'm going to bring it right here. to 4 inches. Now look at how cool this is, Erica, because it has the lines on a ruler.
Oh, that
I
is
can know
slick.
that that's where it's going to be.
Yep.
And then that little blue mark will tell me that my point is going to come right there.
It's going to come right there. Excellent.
Yeah. It did help to measure it. Then I found that everything was a little more uniform.
Well, yes, you don't want to fuse it down so that it's not in the right place.
Right. And you want to make sure there's enough room for a bird down here.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
All right.
I'm just pulling wings off
Yep.
here.
You're just fine. All right. Now I'm going to put my little birdhouse top here. Look at this. Okay. And then I'm also going to add this to the bottom. Okay. And then what I did, I kind of pressed it.
Pressed it as you went. That makes sense.
Right. And then always you want to make sure, right, is my little bird going to fit there? And
Right,
ta-da,
because you
he
don't
will.
want to lose them in the seam allowance.
Yeah. All right. All right. So here we go. Look at how fun this would be a really fun project to do with kids or grandkids, because really it's just applique.
Right.
And then we just need 2 different colors of wings.
And happily we have to.
Imagine that.
Imagine that.
I love it when a project works. All right. So we already have a blue wing up here. So let's kind of go down here. And look at this. So again, just a really great way to bust up your scraps.
That's great.
Okay? And ta-da, isn't this so sweet?
It is.
Our top
It
is nearly
really
finished.
is.
Now, before we show you how to do the border, let me just cut out our 4 birds that are going to go in the center.
Oh, okay.
Because if you look here in the project, here's the bird houses, and then there are these 4 sweet little birds that go in the
Yes.
center. So we're going to cut those out and
Okay.
just lay them out here. We won't iron them down today, but we'll just show
Okay.
you how it looks. So again, I wanted to do this because you can always do 4 layers of
Right,
prefuse.
so you're going to cut all your birds at once, aren't you?
I am going to cut all my birds in one
Clever
pass.
girl.
I know. And again, just total scraps, which was so fun. So look at how cute that is.
That is so cute. So how are we going to put together our border now?
You bet. So we're going to use shape number 8 from our 6-inch cube.
That's the rectangle.
That is the rectangle, and it cuts a 2-inch by 3.5-inch rectangle.
Okay.
Finishes at 1.5 by 6, or
Okay.
1.5 by
by
3. Thank you. Let's do that math. All right. So I have my 6 layers of fabric here.
Yes.
I'm going to make sure I have that lengthwise grain. It's nice and tight.
Okay.
It's going to travel through the cutter. Again, I'm going to use my 6x6 cutting mat. So when I created the borders, I just used those same 6 fabrics, and the pattern will tell you to do 6 on one side, 6 on the other. And then for the opposite sides, we just need to do 7.
Okay.
All right, but
All right.
we have plenty here.
We have
so
plenty.
why don't I let you just sew a few
Would
of
you
those
like me to
together?
sew?
Yes.
All right,
Do
I will.
Yep, and we'll just do different colors together, and you can just
I
sew them how you
will.
want to. Yeah, there we go. So once you sew this side and that side together, it will allow for that seam allowance.
Perfect.
And then you do 7 on one side and 7 on the other. And it is that fast.
I love it.
Super fast. To complete the project, just add the remaining borders like we did here. Layer batting between the top and the backing, then pin or base the layers, quilt as desired, and add binding. I would just do all over quilting on this one. I'm really excited about it.
Absolutely. This table topper would be a perfect gift for Mother's Day or any spring theme party. Think outside of the box and use the shapes for nature-themed aprons and tea towels, or maybe even some book bags. The possibilities are endless. Now be sure to share your finished projects with us on social media so that we can see them as well.
And remember, at AccuQuilt, we help you cut time.
So you can quilt more.